something possible to innovate at those times. It was an area in which at 7 p.m. like walking around the sport complex was tough.
Fascinating lecture. Thank you so much for your talk. The thing that I'm really struck by is, and I think a few of the questions I've hit on it, is your fluid switch to recognize the agency of landscape. You know, and you're not necessarily talking about architecture or landscape architecture. You're just talking about a design process, right? And you're talking about the identification of a need. So you're designing for the users of a space, and you're using the design process and the agency of a design competition to identify opportunities. Can you talk a little bit about how you communicate that through your competition entries? You talked about the board and representation, but how do you use communication to, say, through a brief that is pretty straightforward? You talked about they have very rigid, they know exactly what they want, or they think they know what they want. How do you break that?
Well, representation, it's a powerful tool, and it's really part of the process, and it's not only about convincing the public administration. Sometimes it was even for convincing us within the group. So I used to have 2 partners, also all the time working with other people. And most of the images that you see that we presented that just happened to end up in the boards are internal products that we use to convince ourselves. Like it was, like at some point the office was almost like working on a condition of like positive skepticism. Like it was not easy. So if somebody wants the garden, there is a product that represents that. And then because we don't have the necessary tools to design that garden, we need to invite biologists and botanists.